Good evening, I guess you could say, from the West Coast. We're after hours, but this is Mornings with Michael for informational and educational purposes only. So let's share our screen. S&P heat map. So some of the tech stocks bounced back, some did not. NVIDIA had a little bounce, Intel, AMD, Google, Intuit, Cisco, Applied Materials, and CrowdSpace. Energy was a real bright spot as oil prices continue to rise, putting the Federal Reserve's job in a tough spot because inflation will continue to rise no matter what they're doing, I guess. That's what it appears anyway. But let's get to our news. Peloton was up earlier because of a joint agreement with Lululemon. We'll bring that up in a second. I believe it's a 5-year deal that they've signed. On to world news. Sentiment among German consumers is set to fall in October as the Institute's Consumer Sentiment Index fell negative 26.5 heading into October from a slightly revised negative 25.6 in September. Charlie Bello tweeted the U.S. money supply fell 3.7% over the last year to record the 9th consecutive month of year-over-year decline. Now let's move on to our company news. This is the oil, which is gapped up today, gapped up in price. So Costco Q4 EPS $4.86 versus estimate $4.79. Initially sold off in the news and recovered quite nicely. Recovered all of it and looked to be moving up. Huge volume, 10%, actually 16% earnings increase. Miller Knoll, Q1 EPS 37 cents versus estimate 27 cents. Gapped up in massive faction, huge volume, up of 28%. Marriott International up a little over 1%, pretty good volume. Said it expects revised PAR to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 3% to 6% from 2023 to 2025, down from the 12 to 14% expected in 2023 as post-pandemic travel boom cools off. On to Peloton. Co-founder and chief product officer Tom Cortese is leaving the company, but on a positive note, after hours it was announced this agreement with Lululemon. It's up about 17%, up to $5.44, but you can see Peloton has come a long ways down and will need to go a long ways to get back to where some of these people have bought shares. Take a look at Lulu. Up 0.75%, almost a full percent on the news. Burlington Northern and Macy's downgraded to hold at Gordon Haskett. And Macy's up about 1%. And then Tractor Supply downgraded to accumulate. And It's been in a tough trading range and continues to move down. AAR in energy, industrials, and materials, Q1. I guess it's AIR. Q1 adjusted EPS 78 cents versus estimate 71 cents, up slightly. It's in the relative strength is in a new high at 93. Tried to move out of the zone and pulled back right into it. Next Era Energy said it is revising its growth rate to better position the partnership to continue to deliver long-term value for unit holders, revising its limited partner distribution per unit growth rate to 5 to 8% per year through at least 2026, with a target rate of 6%. China's oil products exports are set to rise in October as state-owned refiners capitalize on lucrative margins and some Western demand, while international flights recover, industry sources Reuters reported. XPO shipping upgraded to outperform from in line from Evercore ISI, and it bounced slightly. And that's that. Commerce Bank shares upgraded to equal weight from underweight at Morgan Stanley in financials. Got a slight bump up of 1.23%. Valley National downgraded to underweight from equal weight at Morgan Stanley. And they initially sold off, but they looks like they recovered everything. But they are in a kind of a big downtrend right now. Zion downgraded to underweight from equal weight at Morgan Stanley. Looks like it gapped down and closed on the low. Healthcare, IMVT, which was a big mover yesterday, announces $300 million offering of common stock. Sure, when they hit their highs and sell some shares and bring in a bunch of money. Not a bad thinking, but holders of the stock probably aren't thrilled with it. Pfizer and Ginkgo signed a research and development deal worth up to $331 million to develop RNAi drugs, according to Endpoint News. Pfizer is down close to 1%. And Ginkgo Bioworks initially traded up, but then sold on its low. So I'm not sure what that's all about. And on to technology, media, and telecom. Progress Software, Q3 adjusted EPS $1.08 versus $1. And the street did not like that. It is down nearly 5% on massive volume. Finally, Palo Alto's Networks is advanced talks to buy Talon and Dig in an $18 security sweep, according to TechCrunch. And Palo Alto Networks up slightly. My favorite computer security firm is up 1.6%, back into the blue zone. Once again, I'm going to stop the share for a second. I want to show the screen. Just want to stress the importance that most people should be, at least 90% of people should be an annuity or something like this annuity. You never lose money. The money steps up and your money does not step down, whereas an indexes bounce with stock prices. And this and annuities often give bonuses of 20 to 40%, and this is how the annuities beat the indexes by about 5%. So that is that. Let's take a look at some trending ETFs. Let's go back, take a look at oil. Oil is once again advanced up here, had a little consolidation, broke out right over about here, and gapped up here and gapped up here. You can see all the buying in gold, in oil. Financials could not bounce back today. Communications, Google and Meta, Facebook getting a little bounce. Meta was actually down, but then they were able to recover. And then after hours, a little bit more. So it broke even for the day. And Google bouncing, getting back close to its 50-day moving average. XBI, our biotech, continues its recovery. Very similar action on our IBB, iShares Biotech. Software got a tiny bounce, 0.67%. Technology, about the same. Semiconductors, it's amazing. It's only it's almost a full percent, but it's so tiny amount on the screen. We can take a look at our 30-minute gap down. I think this is and then it gapped up here towards the end to set up a little bit of a recovery. And so your building supplies, not much happening there. Our airlines got a tiny bounce. Metals and mining, well, but gold got hit today, down 1.24%. It's amazing. It used to be an inflationary hedge, but the dollar is just too strong. And home builders up slightly. So let's take a look at our dollar. And it gaps up again. How much stronger can this be? And we looked at gold, silver, gaps down as well, but it closed on the high. Canadian silver is up slightly after hours. Southern copper was up slightly today, but was down after hours. FCX down slightly and then up a little more after hours. So that's that. And take a look at our yields. Look at the soaring yields. This is just incredible. Now the 10-year treasuries are at 4.62 or 4.3. And the 20-year is getting pretty close to 4%. Just pretty amazing, the run that these guys have had. Look at our volatility index. Got a slight pullback here today. Pullback as it got close to 20. S&P got a little bounce at the end. Same with the NASDAQ. Slightly positive towards the end of the day. Same with our small caps. Don't know if this is a dead cat bounce. We'll soon see. And no bounce in the Dow Jones. So let's see, other than Peloton and some of the other issues we're looking at, let's take a look at some things in the news. Not sure if I had shown this stock before. PACCAR, Purchased Trucks, Parts, and Heavy Duty. These guys are working on a fuel cell alternative for semi-trailers with Toyota Motors. And RS rating is strong. It's just in a very tight range right now. Pull up the weekly. Very much difference there. Here's a better look at them daily. It's very tight range right now. And it needs to resolve itself either to the upside or the downside, and we'll just have to see if more financial money managers start moving their money into this issue. But positive news is working in fuel cell with Toyota Motor for semi-trailers. So in the energy related area, it looks like money is moving that way. NOV engaged in a maker of sale of equipment components products to the oil and gas industry. Got a pretty strong move up here. Got a strong move over here. Not much movement in the stock, but we got a strong move today. It's bounced off of its 50-day moving average now. And we'll just see if it can continue with gas prices or oil prices hitting all new highs. A couple other issues in this area to watch. Baker Hughes had a nice little move here today. We'll look at a 30-day, 30-minute, I should say, just kind of moved up here. ExxonMobil got a nice bounce out of this consolidation. Looks like a long cup with long cup pattern. Nice bounce. Pretty good volume as it moves out of there. And see what other energy stock. Take a look at OII. I bought a couple more 100 shares today as it looked like it was moving up. coming out of this little consolidation here. There was the cup pattern and huge volume, 1, 2, 3 days here. Front line, another issue what we're kind of watching. Kind of pause right over here. Provides tanker transportation, services, oil, products through the fleet of 70 vessels. And before we close our show, let's look where the professional money managers were moving their money today. NVIDIA put on the morning, it looked like it was going to move up, sold off, and then came back. Not the strongest volume, but I did put on 420, 430 spread on this for a month out. And LPG looks like it's working on a cup with a handle here. Here's the cup, here's the handle. And we'll just continue to watch to see if it can get some good volume. But this is where the money is moving today. Huge volume here. It had sold off, and there was a number of buyers today. Medical biotech developed small molecule drugs for treatment of central nervous system. Flowserve, huge volume, not so much of a move, but engineered pumps, valves, mechanical seals for engineering construction applications. In the growth section, Net, Cloudflare, got a bunch of buying today, bounced above its 200-day moving average. It's kind of down below the averages, so it really needs to continue this move. So we'll continue to watch that. Nutanix, computer software cloud platform that converges server with virtualization storage, one integrated solution. Got a lot of volume here, but a danger sign, it closed on its low for the day. Guidewire software, huge amount of buying here as it pulled back into this little blue shaded area. Last earnings were up almost 1,000%. Had a number of selling days here, pulled back slightly, and now we got a bunch of buying into it. So we'll see if that buying continues. Health equity, got a number of blue bars here. Look at all these blue buying days. Financial money just continues to roll into this health commercial services outsourcing enable platform. Consumers can access, manage their tax advantage healthcare savings. New Oriental Education gapped up today. Huge amount of buying. Been in a little bit of a consolidation. Maybe a cup with a handle forming, and it gapped up on pretty huge volume. Fabrinet up on huge volume. And finally, Hilton got a lot of volume, but the danger is it's below all its moving averages. So definitely would need to see some continuation there. Look at some of the issues. The LTE got a little bit of a bounce here. Hopefully it can build the right side here. We may go back into that. We'll just continue to watch. Greenwich, pretty flat. Kava, pulling back a little bit. It's up slightly after hours, so we'll continue to watch this. Zoom, it got rejected at its 200-day moving average. Roku, can't quite get a bid right now. Go with Meta. It's up $1.51 after hours. So it's still going to be sticking around this 300 number. It's pretty encouraging. So that's our show for today. There's been Mornings with Michael for informational, educational purposes only. Continue to go out there and work on your goals and your activities. And if you have any questions on your financial goals, feel free to get back to us. In the meantime, have a great day. Finish the week out strong.